The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus told his disciples a parable. Can a blind person guide a blind person? Will not both fall into a pit? No disciple is superior to the teacher, but when fully trained, every disciple will be like his teacher. Why do you notice the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the wooden beam in your own? How can you say to your brother, "Brother, let me remove that splinter in your eye," when you do not even notice the wooden beam in your own eye? You hypocrite, remove the wooden beam from your eye first. Then you will see clearly to remove the splinter in your brother's eye. A good tree does not bear rotten fruit, nor does a rotten tree bear good fruit. For every tree is known by its fruit. For people do not pick figs from thorn bushes, nor do they gather grapes from brambles. A good person, out of the store of goodness in his heart, produces good. But an evil person, out of the store of evil, produces evil. For from the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I've spoken with many people who've been on mission trips or service trips, and there's a common pattern to how they speak about the first trip they go on. As they're preparing for the trip, they talk about all that they're going to do, all the people they will help, how much good they'll do, how much knowledge they will share, how they're going to help people come to know God. When they return from the trip, they talk about how they received more than they gave, how they learned far more than they taught, how God was already present, and how they learned what they learned about God from the people they met. I believe that's the beam in our eye, that we think we know God. There's a saying that goes, God created humans in God's own image, and we've been returning the favor ever since. We create God in our image. God is like us, and God likes what we like. God's on our side, and God affirms what makes us who we are, our culture, our economy, our social systems, and our biases. St. Augustine said, if you can comprehend it, it isn't God. God is always more than we can even imagine. God is mystery. And mystery doesn't mean unknowable. It means infinitely knowable. We get glimpses and facets of God through our experience. The beam in our eye is thinking that our image of God is God. That's what we have to remove so that we can learn from the other people, from their glimpses and facets of God. Jesus is our teacher because he is the one who is from God. Our call is to be like our teacher. That's what we have to help Clara here grow up to do. Jesus didn't come just to talk about God. Jesus lived what God was like. Jesus lived God's love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, and generosity. Rather than try to talk the splinter out of someone else's eye, maybe we should try to live the beam out of our own eye. Just live God's love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, and generosity. Allow our good works to show people our image of God. A hypocrite was an actor, someone who is playing a role. And for Jesus, it was always a negative term. It's easy to talk a good game. As a tree is known by its fruits, we will be known by our actions. May this upcoming Lenten season be a time for our good works to show everyone, to speak clearly that Jesus is our teacher.